Be up, guys. Apologies once again for the much delayed stream. Uh, yeah, I was supposed to be on here a lot earlier than this, obviously. Well, originally it was a sort of 9:30, then it was going to be 10, and now it's more like, well, I've gone 11, well, 10 past 11 now, actually. Uh, yeah, just actually overslept a bit, and I thought I probably wouldn't do, but of course, knowing that it is the weekend, it's Saturday, um, no work, and did oversleep, um, slept in a bit. But anyway, uh, this isn't going to be a fantastic one now, anyway, this stream, because I found out that ever since that we done this bid for it's our Hadji Malick Diouf, as we know at West Ham. Well, we well because apparently we were interested in him last season, and I think maybe tried to go for him last season at one stage, maybe Senegalese international. I think he's an international. Did he play in the World Cup? I can't even remember now. But he was, yeah. I suppose he has been amazing at times for West Ham. I've seen him; he has been brilliant most of the time. But unfortunately, we've made a bid that they've kind of rejected already because they don't want to let go of him. Make that make sense. Make that make sense because actually, well, why are they letting a lot of their other players go then? Why they let Somerville go? Why have they let Fernandes go? Why have they let anyone? Well, of course, Bowen could have gone, but he didn't want to go. He's decided to stay. Well, that's his choice. But now they've decided, taking the stance that they don't want to let anyone else go. They're big players, apparently, big players. They've already let one or two, well, at least a couple of those go. I would have thought they'd want to take money and get these up. You've got to get other players in. Maybe some don't even want to play in the Championship. Do we know that this Diouf actually wants to play there in the Championship? Do we actually know that? Are we aware of that? What he actually wants? Because it is down to the player again. At the end of the day, it's still down to the player, the actual decision. And I don't know. It's supposed to be down to the player that the decision. I don't know if that's been taken out of the player's hands nowadays. I don't know, but I just don't get it. I don't get this. And I will start with this. I mean, I also got this interest about Kellen Fisher as well. I think that's Kellen or Kellen Fisher at Norwich, young player again. So there's sort of interest in him there, admiration for him. But I will get into that in a little while. Because I just found the news out that they don't want to let out this Diouf go now. And I know probably the bid, we had made a bid, apparently. I think it was 19 million, which probably is a bit derisory, a little bit piss-taking, maybe. He probably is worth a bit more than that, I guess, but that's us, isn't it? I mean, the thing is, well, would we want to go higher and try and tempt them and test the water a bit with it? I don't know. Do we even try and bother now? Because if they're not really if they're taking this stance, they're not going to let him go. They ain't going to let him go no matter what, are they? So is it even worth us coming back with another bid? Anyway, let's get into the talking about it. It was a kind of kick in the guts, or lower if you want, because obviously the news was yesterday about us making a bid for him, and I thought, well, here we go. Maybe we get another player in. Maybe it's probably fourth or fifth signing, and happens to be that It's not. Because they won't let him go. So, which is, I mean, it is their right, you know, not to let him go. They don't have to let him go, of course. But then if the player does want out, I mean, do we know? I mean, the only thing is, right, what if he suddenly comes now and says, oh, no, I want to go to the Premier. I want to be playing the Premier. I know it's Brentford. It's probably not, maybe not the team he wants. I mean, say if a really bigger club had come in for him, likes of, I'd say, an Arsenal or Man City, Liverpool, United, who else? I mean, Spurs are buying up loads of players, aren't they, at the moment? They're sort of, well, I don't class them as a really top six anymore, but I guess they are, in a way. Say Chelsea, another one. He would probably want to go, wouldn't he? But then they would come in with massive bids, wouldn't they? They wouldn't come in with a £90 million bid. You know, they wouldn't be coming in with 19 million, 20 million, whatever, lowish bid. So maybe, if we really come in like a really, really big Premiership team that we're supposed to be now, we're a Premiership club, don't forget, for 5-6 seasons now, actually. If we'd really come in like really big bollocks with big loads of money and put it down on the table, do you think they would have actually rejected that? I don't think so. I think they would take a really massive bid for him, a massive, you know, lot of money for him, and I do. I mean, look, if we come in with like say 40 million, 45 million, say something like that, I think they would have been really tempted. I mean, if we're really serious about getting a left back, which it looks like we are, and I kept on about for so long, right, that it looks like we really do need a left back and one for Rico Henry, because, you know, especially if he gets injured again, or he decides to leave, or just, you know, whatever, because you know, he's not going to be here much. You know, how long is he going to be here for? And he's coming up, I think he's late 20s, early 30s nearly now, Rico Henry. And he has had injury issues, we all know that, and he still has. And that's why we do need backup at the left back position. And this guy would probably be amazing. Well, it says he's actually left-sided midfielder, but I know he does play that sort of left back. Still only 21, of course. I thought he was older, but you kind of think sometimes they look older. But he's 21 still. And it says here, according to the Standard, West Ham have no intention of letting Hadji Malick Diouf leave the club this summer, despite a bid from Brentford. The amount of the opening bid from Brentford is not reported. Well, it says elsewhere, I think it was 19 million. And the Bees could return with a second offer. Brentford are seeking a long-term successor to Rico Henry. There you go. That's what I've said. And became interested in the Senegal international last season. There's no reported agreement on a transfer fee. So there you kind of have it with that. I don't know. I really don't know, guys, to be honest with this. Because if they're not going to let him go, their stance is they're not letting him go either way. Well, I don't know, really. What's the point of us making any more bids? But as I say, I've just mentioned, if we really come in with a massive total, said, "Oh, here we go, a barrow full of cash. Plonk it on there. Go, throw it on the table. There we go. There's your money. You know, the test of resolve. Here you go. Here's a load of cash. Massive load of cash, like 40, nearly 50 mil or something like that. But that's not us, is it? But if say we've done that, I think they would have done. I think they would have maybe sold him. I think they would have let him go to us, because then they know they've got extra money there. They know they can get somebody else in, and that's what they want to do. They want to rebuild. Now they're in the championship. They have to rebuild. They have to get, and don't forget, really, they should be going for players now that are, a championship player that can actually do well in the championship, rather than massive players that they used to get. They used to be able to get the bigger players from abroad or whatever. It's at the end of the day, they should do that, but the fact is, we come in with, as it's reported here, 19 million, which is not really good enough, I would say. I would take that as a bit derisory and a piss take myself, if I was them. But that is us, I'm afraid. That is us. We don't go. A lot of people say it's sensible. That's the way it should be. You don't go mad. You don't spend above what you think a player is worth almost sometimes. But if you really want that player, sometimes you have to do it. And I kept saying that about other teams. Even like Arsenal at one stage, you think, well, they got all that cash. They don't want to spend it. Sometimes you think they won't get the big players. The really, really big players that are out there, So, it's if we really want. Sorry about the throat, by the way, guys. I'm a little bit. I mean, it is sort of morning as well still, but I sound a little bit sort of, I don't know, strange. The throat is a bit, yeah. I don't feel sore or nothing. I'm not sort of, get a really sore throat or anything, but it's just a little bit, I don't know, weird. But anyway, so yeah. But getting back to this anyway, and I just think, well, if we really want him, we'll pay a load. I mean, otherwise we've got to go elsewhere now. We can't forget this and go elsewhere. But I don't know. Do we want to do that? Do we want to continue and try and get this player or what? I don't know. I just can't see us prizing him away unless we spend a load of dough here. We've got to spend at least 45, 50 maybe. And are we willing to do that? I'm not sure. I'm just not sure with us. It's our kind of stance and what we believe, but yeah, it's disappointing. It is disappointing, but what do you do? You have to move on. You go somewhere else, try another target. If this, you can't get a player in, you have to go elsewhere. I obviously, I mean, I've got another article here about saying who we could get and this and that. So, but it's no good if they're not going to sell them. That's the problem, isn't it? That is the actual problem, the issue. You think, oh look, he'd be ideal target, it'd be an incredible target. Let's get him, let's go for him. And and really get in there and pay loads of money, get the guy in. I mean, I said that about Maeda. Look, he was like 10 million, and we still didn't do that. You know, we didn't. You know, we didn't do that. We didn't go and get him when we should have gone and got him. You know, 10 million. That wasn't a lot, and blooming Ipswich got him, stole him from us. That we could have had him, and now look, 10 million, right? We could have had that guy. That ain't a lot, 10 million. Look, we bid 19 million for this Diouf. Well, we could have paid 10 million and got Isaiah Maeda. I know he's not, obviously not a left back, but still, you know, the fact is, if they're selling players for fairly cheap, and you know, I'm still not gutted about that. I'm still pissed off about that. To be honest, guys, I'm still fed up with that. You know, I really am. But actually, I'm going to go to this article regarding this. Yeah. So basically, West Ham's stance confirmed as Brentford launch bid for £19 million. Well, it's saying he's 19 million. And we bid 19 million, if that's the case. Is he 19 million? So they obviously just don't want to accept it because they don't want to let him go. But then I still think if you go in with more money, they would take it. I would still test the waters here, to be honest. See what happens. If they don't take it, they don't want to know still, whatever, then move on. But if we really want this player, right, we are going to go all the way. We're going to do it. I mean, it's like other clubs, like, well, look at United with Bramo wanting in from us, right? And Bramo wanted to go, let's be honest there. But we sort of held out for more money, as we all know. We had to hold out for a lot more because he was worth a lot more, I thought. Probably even more than we sold him for at the end of the day. But they didn't give up, did they? United kept coming in. They wouldn't accept it that, we wanted more money, and they said, well, yeah, okay then, we'll pay that. We'll go more. They probably didn't like it, but they probably said, well, look, we're going to pay it then anyway. We'll actually pay it. We'll pay whatever they want. And we could have demanded more. We could have had loads more probably. We had the power there, really, and could have wanted more. We could have gone like nearly 80, 90 even if we wanted to. I think. For me, I think we let him go cheaper than he should have been. I really do. I think we let him. And speaking of United, we've got Jules in here again. Be up to you, Jules. Jules Solskjaer United TV. Be up to you, my friend. Thanks for coming in again. But we could have let him go for a lot more, Bramo. But they come in. They didn't let it go. They came back in and said, well, we want this player. We really want him. We'll pay it. We'll pay whatever they want. So that's what they did. And that's what we should do for this guy. If we really want him, we got to go back for more. I know they're classing him as not going to let him go. It's their stance. But I still think if you pay a load of money, it's too much, and they will let him go. The pressure will be there to sell, to get the money in. It's a business now more than a football side anymore. It's sort of kind of a business as well, and and they would take money if we bid seriously for this guy. I think you get a load more. You pay, say, even if you go up to like 30, 35 maybe, they would take that seriously. And I think maybe we should. I think we should then. So West Ham stance confirmed as Brentford launched bid for £90 million star. West Ham rejected an opening bid for Premier League side from Premier League side. Brentford having already raised 150 million in sales this summer. West Ham will not sell fullback Hadji Malick Diouf this summer after a bid from Brentford, according to the Standard. West Ham have warned Premier League outfit Brentford that defender Hadji Malick Diouf is not for sale this summer, despite relegation to the Championship. The Standard confirms that the West Ham United FC have WHUFC. Well, you fuck off, basically. That's what it's saying in a way, isn't it? Let's be honest. Have no intention of letting the 21-year-old leave the club. The amount of the opening bid from Brentford is not reported, and the Bees could return with a second offer. Well, I thought it did say we bid 19 million. I don't know. Maybe not then, but maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe we didn't bid that. Maybe we should. Maybe we should go higher, as I say. I'm not sure that's our style, though, somehow. Brentford are in the market for a long-term successor to Rico Henry and had heads turned by the Senegal international last season. With the player with one of a few bright sparks at the London Stadium over the 25-26 campaign. West Ham no longer need to sell key players. Well, right, okay, why? Why is that? West Ham have been in a position when selling was obligatory, having dropped down to the second tier, with the BBC estimating that relegation could cost over 100 million. However, the Hammers are in a healthy position, having generated huge sums through the departures of Matthias Fernandes to Tottenham Hotspur and Crescencio Somerville to Al Hilal. Oh, right, so that is it now then. They got rid of them, they got massive money, now they won't let anyone else go. I see, okay. Almost 150 million was raised. Yeah, it's a lot of money and it's good, and obviously they needed that. But I still don't know why they can't let anyone else go, I'm sorry. Yeah, almost 150 million was raised through those sales, and West Ham are now able to stand firm over transfer interest in key stars. Diouf provided 5 assists from wing-back last season in 32 top-flight appearances, with his crossing ability particularly impressive and a key attraction for Brentford. Henry has struggled for fitness after a long-term anterior cruciate ligament injury. Keane Lewis Potter has deputised, but he's a winger by trade. Yes, he has, and I don't think he's good enough for that. Although at times he sort of done really well, but I don't think he is that. He shouldn't be playing in that position. He's not good enough for that. He's more a forward winger, left sider, really. Keane Lewis Potter. So no, but. I've said about this for a long time about getting a proper left back up for Rico Henry. West Ham paid 19 million to buy Diouf from Slavia Prague last summer. Well, it's obvious then that really he's got to go for more than that, isn't it? You don't sell a player for the actual fee you paid him for. They go for more than that. So we have to bid more. With a player signing a deal to keep him at the London Stadium until 2030. We all know when you put pressure in, you put a lot of money in, these deals go out the window. These sort of contracts, apparently, that they've signed, go out the window a bit. Transfer verdict: West Ham must have Hadji Malick Diouf price. West Ham fans will be pleased to see the club digging their heels in over the future of Diouf, but a club must not simply laugh off any potential bid. Well, they are at the moment, aren't they, from us? While West Ham are no longer feeling the pressure to sell in order to make up for losses, good business is still good business. It's what I've said. I've mentioned that. It's business. It is business at the end of the day. Diouf is a rising star, but does not have championship experience. There you go. And could be hit or miss in a physical second tier. There you go. Exactly. If West Ham were able to demand around 40 million, yeah, twice what they paid for the player 12 months ago, just a portion of that fee could be invested in someone who can bring, I've already mentioned all this, championship, who could bring championship know-how to a backline that was porous last term. See, we could bid that, say 40 million. We could do that. No problem, you know. I think we could do that. 40 mil, easily. But will we do it? Will we do it? Have we got enough balls to do that? You know, it's going seriously for a player and go against what we stand for at times or what we think. I don't know. There's no doubt that Diouf would be tempted to buy a move to the Premier League too. Exactly. Especially if he was able to stay in London. The fullback has proven himself at that level and a step down into the Championship when so young could halt his career progress. Well, so there we go. Already, it just shows I think we've got to still pay a load more money. Let's put in a bigger bid. 40 mil, like they said. What about that 40 mil? That sounds good to me. I would do that. Hadji Malick Diouf, player profiles and statistics. Age 21, position full back. Current club West Ham, 25-26 season stats, 34 appearances, no goals, 5 assists. Yeah. So there we go. For me, I would go back in. I would go back in for him. And pay a load of dough. Pay a load of dough and get him. Just do it. But I don't think we're like that. I don't think we're going to do that. That's just not us, unfortunately. What I want and what they'll do is two different things. So, you know, unfortunately. So, I don't know, guys. I can't see this happening somehow. I really can't. But let's have a look at these comments from Jules here. As I say, be up to you, my friend. Thanks for coming in once again. Hi, Mr. B. Yeah, be up to you. Do you still have that number 87? Is that 8? Oh, number 8. That was a question mark. Sorry, I didn't see that properly. Sorry, it's still early for me, in a way. I think he might be Danish. Yeah. I know what you're going to say there. Yeah. Damsgaard. Yeah. I don't think West Ham would sell Diouf for under 40 minimum. No, you're probably right. That's what it's saying. And will we be prepared to do that? That's what I'm saying, Jules. I don't know, bro. I really don't. I'm not sure we will, because that's just not our style, unfortunately. But you never know. You never know. They could surprise me. they surprised me a little bit already this season with what they've done, going for more experienced players, because we never seem to always do that. You know, former Premier, you know, actual Premier players, and go for players we try to develop and get more money for. And that's not. We've actually turned that around a little bit. We got against that, and I'm glad we can do that. To be honest, but yeah, I just don't think this is going to happen now. But you never know. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it does. I really will. And I think if you spend enough, you put enough in, like that 40 mil, say, or a bit more even, he will go. I think their stance will change because it's already mentioned there, it's business. At the end of the day, it is business. So let's go to this, move away slightly from that, but still talking about transfers. Let's go into this this article. And apologies once again for the Wi-Fi. It's a little bit on the slow side at the moment, and I don't know why it's acting up a little bit again. But yeah. So right, there's this article now. Propelling Brentford into Europe, 3 signings that could help. And there we go. Brentford have established themselves as a serious Premier League side over the last few seasons. But one challenge continues to elude them, qualifying for Europe. Exactly, it does. For B supporters, the club's repeated near misses have become increasingly frustrating. However, with the right additions at fullback, in midfield and out wide, Brentford could finally take that next step. Here are 3 signings who could help them do it. Positions needed to consider who Brentford could sign to push for a higher finish this season. We first must understand the positions where they are lacking. Left back is the most obvious choice. Yeah, exactly. With Rico Henry and Aaron Hickey being relatively injury prone, yeah. Hickey and Henry both managed 11 games each for the Bees across the 23-24 and 24-25 seasons, with Hickey missing the entirety of the latter. Keenlu's Potter played there last season, however, he's not up to it really. His preferred and best position is on the left wing, which is obvious really. The next position Brentford needs to reinforce is in midfield. They could do with a versatile all-phase midfielder and have looked at a few already, including Christ Inal Olay, who rejected the Bees for Fiorentina. So, yeah, well, there we go. We know he's gone. That's not happening. With Jordan Henderson and Matthias Jensen both ageing, and Christian Norgard still yet to be properly replaced. Yeah, a central midfielder is arguably the most crucial position to get right this summer for Brentford. Finally, Brentford are in desperate need of a winger. Kevin Schade looks likely to leave. Well, I hope so. And Dango Ouattara is their only real option on the right wing. Should they sign a left back, Lewis Potter can play on the left. There we go. So that wouldn't be needed then. And contest with new signing Jane Anthony. But that still leaves the right wing spot free. With Mel Donovan leaving on loan to Sheffield United, this means that the Bees are likely to set their sights on a new winger this summer. Without further ado, let's look at 3 players Brentford should sign if they want to get into Europe this season. Joachim Says, I don't know him. Estimated fee, 30 million. I don't believe we even gone in for him, as far as I know. I don't think we've looked at him, but who knows? Joachim Says is a 21-year-old fullback from Belgium who plays for Bruges. Look, Club Bruges. We already have dealings with Club Bruges, so surely we may have looked at him. Surely, you would think, after impressing in Belgium for the last 2 seasons, Says earned his call up for the World Cup. A versatile fullback, Says is better going forward, but can still offer defensive security. He is better in the air than Hickey and Henry, and he's also better going forward. However, the Belgian brings a much-needed harmony between attack and defence. He played mostly on the right last season, but excels on the left. As for where he fits in Keith Andrews' setup. He would actually be the ideal fullback for the Irishman. Says can play on both flanks with his versatility, means he can stay back while the other fullbacks attacked or flip that, be the one putting those crosses in. With Coyote extending his contract recently, his commitment to Brentford means that he will likely be that attacking right back for Andrews. But Says can also fill that role should he need a rest. Exactly. He does need a rest. He can't play the whole blooming season. Andrews usually likes one of his midfielders to drop into the defence, whether that is centrally or on one of the flanks. Either way, this gives licence to one or both fullbacks to push into the attacking third, where Says thrives. Swinging crosses into Igor Thiago's head, or onto his head even, on both flanks, can be a rich source of goals for the Bees. Brentford play a progressive style of football, and Says data for progressive passes and carrying clears that of Hickey and Henry. Well, yes, so basically, yeah. So why have we not gone for him then? Or were we interested? I don't know. There was no talk of him. Strange, isn't it? And if he is only 21, why didn't we go for him? Why haven't we gone for him then? 30 mil, if that's the fee. We paid more than that for Igor Thiago, 35 million from Club Bruges. I don't know then. Why haven't we gone for him? I don't know. I don't know with us sometimes, guys. I don't know what we're doing sometimes. Big up Mr. B. Catch you later. Yeah, big up Jules. Catch you later, bro. Have a good one. Take care. Have a great weekend, brother. Yeah, big up to you, Steph. Hope you're well. Hope you're good, my friend. Yeah, so anyway, as the data shows, Says is excellent going forward. His defensive data is much better from the season when he primarily played left back, but it is still sufficient from his season on the right. With his versatility, he could be a smart pickup for the Bees. However, there are few risks with signing a player like Says. The biggest, most glaring issue is whether or not he can adapt to the Premier League. Yeah, exactly. There is that as well, isn't there? We all know that. And whether he's mature enough to be pushing for a starting role. It is also important to consider his price tag. 30 mil will end up either being a brilliant price or a waste of money. Medium risk, potentially high reward. Yeah, exactly. But he sounds like a good one. He sounds really good to me, but we don't know. Well, are we after him? We don't know that. Bees aren't pollinating at the moment. Well, that's true. You're right there, Steph. be sort of, I don't know, stinging ourselves at the moment, I think. But look at, you know, we were trying to get this Diouf right, and we put in a bid for him, and it seems like they won't let him go. But unless we put a big load of money in, say 40 mil plus maybe, I think any player will go, and they will they will want the money in the business, but it's whether we'll do that or not. I just don't know. I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm scratching my head as much as you are with it all at the moment. But yeah, going on to the next one, Joe Veerman, who we have actually been linked with, and apparently had maybe talks with, nearly signed him. I think maybe last season, was it last season or season before? It may have been the previous season. I know we were definitely in for him and tried getting him. Hold on a minute, guys. Got my phone's going, so hold on a minute. I'll be back in a minute. Apologies, guys. Apologies. Yeah, I had to take a call, important call at the end of the day, unfortunately. But I'm back. Anyway, Steph saying it seems a lot of clubs are playing hardball on releasing their players unless it's for stupid money. Exactly. That's right, Steph. I'm afraid that is the case, isn't it? Yeah, you got to spend big to get these players, I'm afraid, at some time. So if we are prepared to do that, we've got to do it. But I don't know if we are. That's the problem with us. Hope all is well with you on your phone call, my friend. Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I'm back. Anyway, it's quite an important call, obviously. So I had to take it, unfortunately. Well, these things happen when you're doing a stream, unfortunately. Hello again, Steve. I'm still here. Be up, Steph. Yeah, I'm going to continue with this, obviously. That seems to have gone off for some reason. That I might not even had it on here to start with. But anyway, here it is. Anyway, guys. Yeah. So as I say, we this player Joaquin Says could be an option by looks of it. 30 mil. Maybe we should try for him. But this one, Joe Veerman, we've actually had talks with and nearly signed. I think it was a couple of seasons ago, maybe. Estimated fee only 20 mil, which we could do that easy enough. Veerman may be a name that many Brentford fans aren't acquainted with, having been the subject of a big transfer push from the Bees. This time last year, it was last year. The London club was informed by PSV that he was not for sale back then. However, reports from the Netherlands suggest that the midfielder has asked to leave. So will we go back in for him? Will we? I don't know. I don't know with that. We seem to ones we've gone for before and not got. We don't go back in. It's like with Daizen Maeda, we could have got him for 10 million. But we ain't bothered. We ain't done it. Ipswich have got him now. So, I don't know. We move strangely at times, us, Maybe I'm out of touch. No, it's the transfer fees that are wrong. There comes a point in every football fan's life when they must accept that the game has moved on without them, perhaps. Yes, anyway, but getting back to this, that's true as well. That is very true. Veerman nearly left PSV in January after Fenerbahce activated his £20 million release clause. But a transfer was cancelled. So he nearly went to Fenerbahce, of course. And he ultimately saw out the season in the Netherlands. However, that release clause is believed to still be active, with Brentford retaining a long-term interest in the midfielder and him stating that he wants to move away. It is plausible that he makes the switch to West London. Well, if that was the case, why have we not done it already? And I'm not so sure we are after him now. I've got a feeling we're not. We would have done this by now, surely. So I'm not so sure about this one now. Veerman is capable of playing all across the midfield, making the 27-year-old an ideal touch. He's still got in his 20s, late 20s, so he's got loads of experience. We all know bags of experience. Yeah, it makes an ideal target for Keith Andrews. So why aren't we doing it? The Dutchman can drop between defenders to dictate play and is extremely press resistant, making him a great progressor. His ability to perform in any phase of play would make him a key player in that 4-2-3-1 midfield. Being able to win the ball back and use his elite passing range to trigger counters While Veerman's primary strength is his eye for a pass, he can provide goals too, scoring 8 in the Eredivisie last season. This versatility in midfield gives the Dutchman that edge over other midfield targets. Veerman has not been in the Orange squad since 2024 due to issues with former head coach Ronald Koeman. Now that the 23-year-old has stepped down, the PSV midfielder has expressed his desire to break into the national team again. A move to the Premier League can revitalise his international career, and with Brentford's previous interest, it is not out of the question. So yeah, it could happen still. We don't know, but it might. It might. The main issue with this signing is his age. Why? Because we sign players. Look, we got Kellen Wilson, 36, whatever, 37. We got Jordan Henderson, 36. So I don't get this age business. We just bought Jane Anthony's 26. That age shit is not. That's nothing to do with it. Sorry. He's only a couple years younger than Matthias Jensen. Yeah, well, years younger than him, but yeah, well, as I said, the age thing I don't give a shit about. Anyway, at 27, there also remains the problem of resale value. Yeah, well, there we go, I suppose. Veerman is not getting any younger, and should Brentford not want to cash in, it may be difficult to move him on without a loss. Yeah, that's probably not what we're about, really. So I don't know. The final problem is his defensive ability. While the Dutchman is still capable defensively, Keith Andrews may want someone who can replicate the safety that Christian Norgard provided. Yeah, Nicolas Gonzalez, the third option. Gonzalez is my final pick for Brentford, and he comes off the back of a stellar World Cup campaign with Argentina. Yeah, but they're thugs. I'm not sure I want an Argentinian. Estimated fee 20 million, by the way. Gonzalez. Yeah, they're thugs though. I hate them. I hate Argentina. Making it to the final and losing against Spain following the departure of Thiago Motta, new Juventus manager Igor Tudor has made it clear that the Argentine winger is not in his plans. An opportunity like this could hardly go amiss for the Bees. Gonzalez, who has previously been linked with a move to the Bees, all right. Well, there we go. Why have I not heard it then? Spent last season on loan at Atletico Madrid, but their obligation to buy was not triggered. The winger was somewhat of a super sub throughout Argentina's 26 World Cup, delivering consistent performances in the minutes he was given. He can play on the left and the right, but prefers cutting inside from the right on his favoured left foot, which suits Keith Andrews' needs from his wingers. The dogged winger would fit right in at Brentford, excelling at creating shooting opportunities. One key quirk that Gonzalez possesses is his incredible heading metrics. The Argentine ranks first in the top 5 league wingers for headed goals per 90, and second for aerial duels, 1 per 90. This data sets Gonzalez apart from the rest, and Andrews' utilisation of inverted wingers could even see the 5'11" forward bag double-figure goals if combined with Coyotes and potentially Sai's crossing ability. As the above data shows, Gonzalez has solid scoring stats alongside his anomaly. I'll say it in a minute. Anomaly's heading ability still mourning. Well, it's not actually. It's gone 12, but still not with it, guys. At the moment, ability could be a proper steal for the Bees, and they need a winger exactly like him. Yeah. With their previous links to the winger, it would not be a surprise if Brentford attempted another move. As with Veerman, Gonzalez, age could be a concern for Brentford. Also, despite him being cheap, the Argentine's wages would put him among the highest earners at the club. Yeah, the winger's recent club form has not been outstanding. Something that the Bees would have to consider before forking out £20 million on him, especially with him being 28. Again, the age don't matter to me. Output would have to justify the fee. Closing thoughts, will Brentford sign all three of these players? Probably not. However, the reasonable fees combined with the data and ability of them all means that Brentford should certainly at least take a look. Should they amply reinforce those three positions, though, they can make a serious push for European football. Yeah. The older presences of Gonzalez and Veerman can provide experience and get them over the line. The Londoners have been trying to cross for the last couple of seasons. Matthew Benham's Moneyball approach focuses on undervalued players and resale potential. And while Veerman could be considered undervalued, Gonzalez and Saiss may be just out of that catchment zone. Saiss is still 21 and can hold resale value, but the other two could be risky signings. Should it pay off, though, Brentford could be on a crash course towards their first ever season in Europe. Let us know your thoughts, Bees fans. Is there any here? Probably not. Any comments? Don't think so. No. So nothing. But yeah, some good choices in a way. Very good choices. I like the Saiss one, definitely. Probably Veerman, definitely, maybe. But as they say, it is about the resale, I guess. And though I don't care about the age business, it is obviously about resale. So I'm not so sure. But definitely the Saiss one, I like the sound of. But we'll see. We don't know. I don't know what we're going to do at the moment. I really don't get it, what we're going to do. But Steph's saying Speedy Gonzalez, yeah. He's Mexican, but he's rapid. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Very good, Steph. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure I like them, no, because he's Argentine, and yeah. We all know what happened with them in the World Cup, and beating England and starting punch-ups and fisticuffs, basically. So there we go. I'm not so sure about that. But, yeah, but let's move on. I'm going to talk about my last thing now, choice. Well, player that we're looking at, basically. Not actually going, we're not making a bid yet, anyway. Be secure in Europe last season would have helped attracting new players. I know that, Steph, definitely. But then again, I still kept saying I don't think we were up to it. I don't think we were ready for it. Playing games week in, week out, in the week, then the weekend. You know, all the time, playing so many more games. You've got to have a big enough squad to cope with that. You really need it. United probably would have it because you'll be playing in Europe, obviously now, Champions League. More games for you this season. You're going to have the squad probably to cope with it, I would say, because you're, as we know, you're a bigger club, giant club. You should have players, back up on the bench and so forth. So, travel. Yeah, travel as well. That's right. Travel as well, Steve, 100%. Yeah, totally, Steph, totally. There's a lot to deal with, a lot to cope with as well. So yeah, loads more games, travelling. he needs to be able to cope with all that and have a big enough squad. So we wouldn't have been able to do that. So luckily, I think we dodged a bullet, to be honest, in a way. As much as I wanted Europe, and I'd love to get Europe, I hope we do get it in a way. But our stadium would be amazing to host European football. It would be incredible, the GTEC. So, but we've got to be right. We've got to be ready, and maybe we will be this season. You never know. I think possibly we will be if we keep going and we keep getting in these key players, strengthen the squad, and get some players out that are not needed or not good enough. I think we could be ready this season. I hope we are. Also to go for a trophy like Carabao or FA Cup. Really, realistically, we can. Well, Carabao Cup for sure. But we'll see. We'll see. There's a long way to go yet. So I still think we're going to get some of these other players in. I think it will happen. This Diouf one probably won't happen now. But there may be some others we can get across the line, I hope. But anyway, getting on to this last one, player that we're looking at, and it's this young man here, Kellen Fisher. We're obviously monitoring at the moment, not made a bid or anything or talks. And from Norwich, it's Norwich. You're going Norwich. Adam Partridge, Radio Norwich, guys. Radio Norwich. Anyway, so he's a left back, this young man, just 22. He's saying he's only 1.8 million, which wouldn't be a lot for us if we are definitely serious about getting him. Sources have confirmed that Brentford admire Kellen Fisher and believe he is capable of stepping into the Premier League immediately as a squad option with significant long-term potential. So he wouldn't be probably played straight away, maybe, I don't know. He'd be in the squad, of course. But let's see, look, go into this article more about him here. Well, it's not really about him as such, but it's about what's going on there, that he probably won't be moving, but and he's obviously another right back, and of course we're looking at other right backs at the moment. That's for sure. Anyway, let's look at this comment from Steph. What about loan market youngsters from so-called bigger clubs? Yeah, there is that. Yeah, there is that, Steph, definitely. I'm sure we're looking at all things, all different options at the moment. Let's be having you, Delia Smith said. Yeah, let's be having you, Delia Smith, right? Exactly. Yeah. Where are you? Let's be having you. We all remember that, don't we? Of course, yeah. Yeah. So, well, we're obviously looking at this young player as well, although we're not mentioned much in these other articles. We're not really mentioned at all. But I've just seen that if we're obviously monitoring him, I mean, we're not making any serious moves for him just yet. But it's saying here, Norwich City, Philip Clement on Kellen Fisher, Hull link. So he's obviously been linked with Hull City. Philip Clement dismissed any transfer conspiracy theory behind Kellen Fisher's injury absence for Norwich City's 0-0 friendly at AFC Wimbledon on Wednesday. and insisted there has been no bids for his top talent. So there you go. Nobody's bid for him yet. Fisher was touted with Premier League new boys Hull City on Tuesday, but claims of a rejected £5 million offer were news to the Canaries. The England under-21 international was absent at Plough Lane with a twisted ankle, which will be assessed over the coming days at City's Teddington training camp. Clermont and City took a hardline stance earlier this year before sanctioning Josh Sargent's protracted move to Toronto. I think it was another one we were linked with Sargent as well. Obviously didn't go for him in the end, didn't do anything with that. And the Belgian is in the business of building a promotion-chasing group. Yes, that's the case, and everybody is also into building this story, he said. They're really hungry to start the season. We talked about that in January also. These off-season days, I know there are no games, so there are not much interesting stories. So a lot of people make up stories to fill the papers, yeah, or agents speak with journalists to create something. Yes, definitely. He knows, this guy knows. He knows the game of it, doesn't he? No, the only thing I can say, I don't want anybody to go who can be a starting 11 player. And everybody in the club, whether it is Ben Napper or the ownership, had the same idea because we want to continue building what we've been building from last season. That's the case, and there hasn't been any bid for a player in the club until now that I can tell. Jack Stacey started against the Dons, but was withdrawn. Well, we won't go into this, obviously. Their player. Anyway, Kellen twisted his ankle in training, so he jumped and he came down on the foot of one of his teammates, said Clermont. That was too painful. It was swollen, and we need to see now the next couple of days how he settles down. Normally, it was the idea to have a 60-30 minute split with the two of them. So Jack 60 and Kellen 30, and then the opposite for the Fulham game on Saturday. But we had to change plans, but that's part of a contact sport. Yeah, you can have bad luck. This was bad luck. Kellen's in a good spot. But if your ankle is swollen and you twisted your ankle, you cannot do anything about it. Exactly. You can't. But yeah, so this young man, I mean, he's injured at the moment anyway, so it's no good going for him yet anyway, is it? So, I mean, that's another one I think we'd have to look at. And eventually we might go for him. Who knows? At the moment, there's no way we can get him. Being injured, of course. So it's not happening yet, is it? Canaries or Bees, only one winner in the battle of birds. Yeah. And bees, yeah, birds and bees, yeah, exactly. The hive versus the nest, yeah, definitely, Steph. But yeah, so it looks to me like that one is we're just still monitoring him. There's nothing happening yet. Well, we can't. He's injured, so that one's not happening yet anyway. So, as I say, the Hadji Diouf one, well, we'll have to wait and see. If we make bigger bids for him, who knows? We've already been warned that they don't really want to let him go. So your guess is as good as mine on what will happen there. But I would say if we do make any more bids, they've got to be high. They've got to be at least 40 mil at least or something. And if we are going to do that, well, we'll have to. If we're not, well, let's move on then. Let's just forget it. and go on to another target that we can get. We will be able to sign, I think we'll have to. I really do. So, at the moment, well, who knows? It's really up in the air. So, just got to wait and see now. Anyway, guys, follow me on Insta, Mr. B for Life 182, and Discord, Steve the B. Also, subscribe to this channel, of course, Mr. B, Hive Football Chat. Please keep smashing those likes and keep subbing, of course, subbing if you're new. Much appreciated, guys. Thanks for all your support, as usual. It's amazing. I have been thinking of maybe changing the music on here or something on the intro. I think it's decent, the intro, but if anyone there wants to let me know what you think, Steph, do you like the intro? I mean, I don't know if you've seen my intro on here and music and whatever. Do you think I should keep that or change it or what? I'm thinking about maybe changing the music at least. I don't know. It's quite good, but I don't know really. If anyone wants to let me know what they think, put comments. Because I'm trying to improve this channel. I'm trying to make changes and get it up to, I want to make it even better if I can, because for quite a while I kept it how it was, and I needed to change things up. I need to make things different with it. Obviously, different intro, outros, and so forth. And really, the stuff I had before was other people had done for me. The ones I previously had, the intros, outros. I got other people to do. These ones I've actually done myself. That's how much I've learnt now on online, on YouTube and so forth. I've started to improve and get used to things, to know what to do with these things. And I didn't to start with. I was so green. I had to get other people to help me with it. And that meant paying to get it done. And I thought, no, I don't want to keep doing that. I don't want to be paying, to do all this. So it's my own channel. Why should I be paying other people to sort things out for me? No, it wasn't right. So I thought I'd start doing it all myself. Why not? It is my channel. I'll get things done myself on it. Because it is more than you think. You've got to do more on your channel. You've got to improve things, change things up. You can't keep the same thing going forever and ever. We have to move things on, like in life. Everything changes, it moves on. You have to go with it. So I've had to now do all this. So I'm kind of improving all the time with it. It was a slow process. It's still a smallish channel, still. I'm not up to the subs of other people. I haven't got as much as that. I might do one day. It's going to take a while. I still have to keep plugging this channel, and there's still not enough probably following me. Especially Brentford fans that I want. I don't know, most of them have seemed to have gone, that I did have. Are no longer on here for some reason. But anyway, I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to have to bounce. Got things to do. Even though it's the weekend, of course, but want to go out and enjoy things, enjoy the weekend and stuff. So I don't know if there will be another one tomorrow, another stream. I don't know about it yet. Maybe, especially if there's any more transfer news. Probably there might be one. Other than that, maybe Monday. but I'm not entirely sure yet, guys. Wait and see on that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce. Thanks for watching live on playback. Thanks to Jules and Steph that were in the live chat. Thanks to you two. And anyway, I'm going to move. I'm going to bounce, guys. I'm going to get out of here, get myself out of here. And until the next one, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy all the sport and stuff that's on the telly. And I'm out of here, guys.